17th meeting of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners. Order, Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Byers. Here. Commissioner Pacharich.
Here.
Commissioner Meade.
Here.
Commissioner Barrett. Here. President Kelly.
Here. We're going to do community input first. If anybody signed up is,
Right here, John.
oh, we have a sheet. Ms. Beersdorf.
Hi, thank you. Good evening. Sharon Beiersdorf, 766 Ralph Court. I just want to talk about the summer concert series at Memorial Park and how Wheaton charges non-residents and residents. I think it's a $10 fee for entrance to those events, and how neighboring towns, Carroll Stream, Bloomingdale, Addison, Warrenville, Bensonville, just to name a few, and I've been to all of those, do not have any kind of a charge. They do not charge any kind of a fee for residents or non-residents, and they bring the same quality of entertainment to the audience, and I'm just wondering about the charge that continues to happen for the Memorial Park Concert Series.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Smith.
Good evening. My name is Chuck Smith, and I live at 0N236 Woodland Drive in Wheaton. I am here to express my concern in opposition to the proposed east parking lot across from the Cosley Zoo on Gary Avenue. I urge you to carefully consider the negative repercussions of this project, including the impact on the already busy Gary Avenue traffic, and most importantly, the risk it poses to pedestrians. The Wheaton Park District is creating an unsafe condition that does not exist today and creates a liability for mothers with young children and people with disabilities, and certainly our senior population. Parents and caregivers crossing children from the parking lot will be at risk. Toddlers are very unpredictable and can dart out seeing the zoo across the street, not recognizing the hazards of vehicles going down Gary Avenue and the obvious tragic consequences. In the now rescinded Wheaton Park District Cosley Zoo 2017 Master Plan, the Wheaton Park District clearly recognized the hazards of crossing Gary Avenue. In that plan, on page 13, was stated that a tunnel would be provided under Gary Avenue in lieu of the original plan to install an overpass. It states, and I quote, "The problem would be in connecting the zoo and parking/service together to allow passage between the two parcels without the danger of crossing Gary Avenue." What has changed? Was it the most expected high costs of electricity for the large capacity pumps that would obviously have been required to keep the tunnel dry? Or was it the high cost of construction in that high water table area? The proposed addition of traffic control light with standard crossing with ladder painting will not eliminate this hazard. The World Health Organization published just this last December in a document, and it stated, in part, to address the issue of hazards of children crossing streets, they asked, why are so many children involved in road traffic crashes? Road traffic injuries are the leading killer of children and young people aged 5 to 29 years worldwide. In conclusion, if the Wheaton Park District Board builds this parking lot on the east side of Gary Avenue and knowingly creates an unsafe condition which does not exist today, they will be liable for the injuries or deaths of pedestrians. In a wrongful death lawsuit, you could expect to be deposed to testify on the stand and be asked by the prosecuting attorney representing the family of the deceased, why did you approve the building of the parking lot on the east side of Gary Avenue when you clearly recognized the hazards of crossing Gary Avenue? in the once approved but later rescinded 2017 master plan. Page 13. You recognize the hazard and propose a safer alternative to address the known hazard. For cost or some unknown reason, you did not build the tunnel, or are not going to build the tunnel, and went ahead and put young children in harm's way by having them cross at grade. Think about it. What would your answer be?
Thank you. And last, Mr. Peterson.
Patterson.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is John Patterson. I live at 1849 North Cherry Street in Wheaton, a resident of the Wheaton Park District. First of all, I congratulate you during your closed session. It looks like you'll be adding a new member to your group. I congratulate you on that. Again, my comment at your subcommittee meeting would be that I would really encourage you to look at individual Wheaton Park District email addresses instead of just the group. My understanding is that at least one of you does have one of those. I'm going to dovetail with my friend Sharon Beiersdorf regarding the $10 fee for the concert series taking place. It looks like a great event. My question is, and I actually concurred with one of your board members from your last meeting, that if the charging stations that will go in the parking lot at the community center, it's interesting that we would not have a charge for that for any non-resident that would happen to pull into that parking lot. If that is so what you're going to continue to approve, my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the infrastructure for that has already gone through. So I'm interested to know, with the cost of that infrastructure and the fact that there's going to be no charge for the charging stations, why we would not have a charge for a non-resident, where, again, with Mrs. Beiersdorf's comment, we continue to make a charge for resident and non-resident for a concert series. So thank you again for the opportunity, and I wish you good luck choosing another commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that ends community input. I believe we have a presentation tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin Lizick. I'm the Annual Giving and Events Manager with the Wheaton Park District. I have the privilege of working with the Park District's 3 nonprofit foundations. The development team is hard at work with planning special events and our fundraising initiatives for the year. The DuPage County Historical Museum Foundation is currently planning 2 new fundraising events for 2024, the first being Hoptoberfest and the second being an evening with Jeffrey Bayer. The Play for All Playground and Garden Foundation is gearing up for summer play days and is celebrating its 10 years of inclusive play. And the Cosley Foundation is celebrating Cosley Zoo's 50th anniversary. What an incredible milestone. I would like to share our marketing and fundraising initiatives for Cosley Zoo in 2024 as they all commemorate the 50th anniversary in some way. Our team has been hard at work creating historical panels that will be placed at Cosley Zoo. These panels will highlight the zoo's accomplishments throughout the decades, allowing visitors to become immersed in the zoo's history. The Cosley Zoo Run for the Animals is taking place on June 1st. We're expecting over 1,700 runners to join us this year. To highlight the 50th anniversary, we've designed a retro-themed t-shirt reflective of the 1970s. This design will also be featured on our finishing medals. The Mike Williams Cosley Classic will take place on August 5th at Arrowhead Golf Club. After last year's sold-out event, we will be using all 3 courses again. I'm sure our golfers will very much appreciate that. The golfer gift will incorporate the Cosley Zoo's 50th anniversary within it. The zoo opened as Cosley Children's Park and Museum on August 17th, 1974. We'll be hosting an anniversary opening day celebration on Saturday, August 17th that will be a community event for all to enjoy. This event will feature giveaways, activities throughout the day, and more. Lastly, Cosley Zoo will be hosting its first ever gala, Woodland Wonder, on September 7th, 2024. Woodland Wonder will be an enchanting evening at the zoo where guests will enjoy a delicious meal, engage in animal encounters, and learn more about the zoo's important mission. Thank you for the opportunity to share our current marketing and development initiatives for the DuPage County Historical Museum, the Sensory Garden Playground, and Cosley Zoo's 50th anniversary. I look forward to celebrating all of these milestones with you. Do you have any questions?
Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda items. Items A through E. Item A, approval of the disbursements totaling $513,156.67 for the period beginning March 13th, 2024 and ending April 9th, 2024. Item B, approval of the disbursements totaling $966,384.79 for the period beginning March 13th, 2024 and ending April 9th, 2024. Item C, approval of board meeting minutes from March 20th, 2024. Item D, approval of special meeting minutes, April 3rd, 2024. And item E, approval of subcommittee meeting minutes, February 7th, 2024.
Second. Byers.
Motion by Pacharic and a second by Byers. Any comments? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharic?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business, item 1, the Arrowhead Golf Club heating and cooling rooftop replacement project.
I move to approve a contract with Cahill Heating and Air for the Arrowhead Golf Clubhouse rooftop unit replacement project for the base bid in the amount of $492,000 plus a 10% contingency.
Second.
So I have a motion by Byers and a second by Barrett. Any questions or comments from anybody?
John, when will that project take place?
We've blocked out a 3-week period in mid-October, I think. We need to do that project in the shoulder months when heating and cooling is not really required. And the units will be replaced, multiple units per day. So I think it's like a 3-week blockout. Dan, am I right? Or Andy, right? Yeah, so over 3 weeks in October is when that'll be done.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Pacharic?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business, item number 2, the Cream of Wheaton concession purchases and trailer rental.
I move to approve the invoice from Euclid Beverage at a total cost not to exceed $27,000.
Second.
So we have a motion by Barrett and a second by me. Anybody have any questions or comments of staff on that?
Just a comment.
Yeah, Terry.
Mr. President, Euclid's been with us for a long time, and they've been doing a great job. So, I'm sure that that's going to continue.
Anybody else? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharic?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business, item number 4 is Arrowhead Golf Club contractuals for
Skip one.
temporary.
John.
What?
Item 3.
Item 3.
Oh, I wrote. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, alcohol sales and service on Park District property for the 2024 events.
I move to approve proposed alcohol sales and service for the following 2024 events. Cosley Zoo Uncorked Wine Tasting Event, July 11th, 2024. Northwestern Medicine Memorial Park Rental, August 10th, 2024. And Cosley Zoo Woodland Wonder Gala Event, September 7th, 2024.
Second.
So I had a motion by Pacharic and a second by me. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? No, Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharic?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business, item number 4, the Arrowhead Golf Club kitchen contractual temporary services bids.
I'd move to approve a 3-year agreement with Pro Staffing for temporary staffing at Arrowhead Golf Club for the following positions and hourly rates: dishwashers at a rate of $23.79. Dishwashers/prep cook, $25.20. Cook number 1, $27.17. Cook number 2, $30.03. And finally, banquet server at $22.88.
Second.
So I had a motion by me and a second by Pacharich. Anybody have any questions or comments? Mike, do you want to explain what's the need for this and when we do that for anybody that's not sure?
Yes, we typically, our operation, our back of the house and front of the house operations, all food and beverage operations are staffed with Wheaton Park District employees. However, from time to time, we get in a situation either because of lack of available staff or short notice call off where we may need back of the house assistance. Primarily, this happens in the area of our dishwashers, and in 2023, the only temp staffing we used were for dishwashers. We did not use any cook backups. However, we would like to have the bench hot, as it were, in those events where we may run into a difficulty. And, for instance, we run into a staffing difficulty and we have a wedding scheduled. We got to have people. So we hold it in reserve. Ideally, we don't use the services for cooks in 2024, as obviously those are more costly, but we do expect to continue to need from time to time the use of temporary dishwashing assistance. And I believe last year the report indicates that we spent just under $30,000 on those services.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
We probably should do roll call on that.
Yeah. Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item number 5, community center parking lot repaving project, change order.
Motion to approve the change order number 3 from Abbey Paving for $4,320.
So a motion by Barrett,
Second.
second by me. Anybody have any questions?
I've got a comment.
Yes.
Since one member of our public has incorrectly assumed that we will not charge for the use of those charging stations, I'd like to, maybe there are others out there who feel the same way. So we have not made a decision in regard to whether we will charge or will not charge for those charging stations. And we won't make that decision until we determine the use. And that might not be for some time yet. So we will see if we will charge or we will not charge.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you for the clarification. I didn't get that opinion at your subcommittee meeting, so thank you for clarifying that.
Thanks. Anybody have anything else? Nope. Mike, take the roll, please. Or no, that we can do a voice vote.
Sure. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Anybody
opposed?
Okay.
Motion carries.
New business item number 6, community center innovation renovation project, change order 4.
Motion to approve change order number 4 from Stuckey Construction for $26,173.99.
Second.
We have a motion by Merritt and a second by Pacharich. Anybody have any questions or comments on any of the items included in that change order?
Yeah, just, being at the community center, using Parks Plus Fitness about 4 times a week, the Stuckey is really moving along well, making a lot of progress, and we're not too far from opening up our renovated locker rooms.
Right. Thanks, Terry. Anybody else? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item number 7, community center table purchases.
I'd like to move to approve the purchase of tables through Southern Aluminum in the amount of $25,397.
Motion by Barrett. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by me. Anybody have any questions or comments on the table purchase? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers? Yes. Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item number 8, community center renovation project office furniture bids.
Move to accept the base bid, alternate 1, and installation of the furniture from Thomas Interiors for an amount of $50,769.78.
Second.
So a motion by me and a second by Barrett. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Me.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. And new business item number 9, the 2024 picnic table purchase.
I'd like to move to approve the quote from the Park and Facilities Catalog in the amount of $23,097.50 for the purchase of 20 picnic tables.
Second?
So a motion by Barrett and a second by Pacharich. Anybody have any questions or comments? These are just in general for all over, or are they for specific locations?
That's correct.
They're in general, just replacements for stuff that's, okay. And new business item number 10, the City of Wheaton,
Got to approve that.
Yeah.
Gary Avenue improvement. What?
We do.
We got to vote on the
Oh,
picnic
previous
tables.
one.
Jeez, yeah, let's, Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Me.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Now new business item number 10, the Gary Avenue roadway improvement project easement agreements.
Motion to approve the temporary and permanent easement agreements for Gary Avenue roadway improvement project.
Second.
So a motion by Barrett, a second by Vyers. Anybody have any questions or comments? Just for the record, these are zero-cost easements, correct, Mike?
That is correct.
Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Me.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Move on to reports from staff. Mike, anything from you?
No, sir.
Special events annual report. Did anybody have any comments or questions of staff on the special events report?
Not me.
I do, of course. Thank you again, staff. The exec summary says all about our 2023 Memorial Park and other, special events during last year's season. And, staff did it again and knocked it out of the park. But, I want to also thank all of our civic partners, who contributed to the events. And I'll just name them quickly. But we got the City of Wheaton's Police Department, Fire Department, Public Works, Planning, Communications, City Council, and the Liquor Commission. We've got Milton Township, CERT team, and they're always at our events, and they do a great security job for us. And finally, the DuPage County Fairgrounds. Without, those partners, we couldn't pull this off.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry. Anybody else have anything on the report?
No.
All right, then I'll just open it up. Commissioner comment. John, anything?
I don't have anything now.
Linda?
I just want to say that I had a friend visiting from Peoria yesterday, and as we were driving home from where we were driving past a park, and she said, "Oh, is this one of your parks?" I said, "It is." And she said, "Oh, that's really nice." And then we continued driving, and we passed another park, and she said, "Is this one of your parks?" I said, "It is." And as we continued, she said, "Oh, well, how many parks are there?" And she was very impressed. So the next thing you knew, we were on a tour of Wheaton because she wanted to see everything that we had. So I was telling her about the sensory garden and how anybody can come and use that garden and that sensory garden for play. And then we drove over to Arrowhead, and I said, "Oh yeah, our golf course is coming up here." And as you're driving down Butterfield, you really can't see it until you're right in front of it. So she didn't know what she was going to see. And as we drove up, she was completely blown away by our magnificent clubhouse and our facility there. So of course, I didn't bring her in because it was raining, but we drove around the parking lot. I explained all the different things we had, and then we took another different route back towards my house so that I could point out Tui Park and Safety City and talk about how my kids had done that. And it was great for me because I was giving her a tour and I was highlighting all the Wheaton Park District has to offer, but it also made me realize just how many things we have available to the residents of Wheaton and our neighboring communities. And so it takes a lot to keep our parks in good shape. So thank you to everybody here and to your staff that does that job. And we really are fortunate to live in a city that has such great parks available to us. So I just wanted to share that with you. It was kind of fun for me to drive around and talk and be proud of what we all do here.
Thanks, Linda. before I went around, I missed Michelle's museum report. Sorry, Michelle.
I'm going to make a comment about that, unless you got one,
Well,
John.
I'll do comments on the museum annual report.
John or Linda? Michelle, I know you're out there. There you are, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Michelle, I do want to thank you and your staff for a very comprehensive, annual museum report. Thanks also to our 13 Museum Foundation members in 2023 and also to those currently. With special mention, for our long-term member, Bob Jacobson, who unfortunately passed in 2023. He was unique and he was a wonder. But I quickly want to thank and credit, to our 2023 museum support sponsors, and I'll go quickly. First Trust, Mirabella Kincaid and Frederick, Mirabella LLC, Wheaton Bank and Trust, Fairhaven Wealth Management, Inland Real Estate, Arrowhead Golf Club, Wheaton Orthodontic, and the First Service Residential. That's a lot of sponsorship. And, Michelle, we couldn't do it without, those sponsorships and certainly the help of our foundation. But you and the staff are doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thank you. We couldn't do it without the Parks Department or the Marketing Department either. So
What about us?
all of you, of course,
Oh my God.
always.
And Michelle,
And Mike and-
I did have one comment on your report. So I see that our visitors finally got back up to pre-COVID, with like a
Closer, yes.
35-40% increase last year alone. What did you attribute that? Do you think having the construction there hurt our visitors when we had all the scaffolding in front the year before?
So 2019, if you recall back that far, we actually had construction in front of on Wesley Street, torn up the
that's right.
entire 6 months of the year. So 2019 wasn't even normal as far as I'm concerned. 2020 pandemic. And a lot of our visitors, even through last year, were still wearing masks. A lot of people are still a little nervous in our constituents and our residents that come in for the countywide. So I do think that just our audience is a little bit, tends to be skewed towards the elderly or very young, and those can be the ones that are a little more cautious with their health.
Anybody else? Linda?
I wanted to mention that I received the newsletter today in my email, and I thought your story about one of the former people who was a big beneficiary, and that was excellent. It really did highlight your relationship with him and the things that he did for the historical museum, and the article written by Dan as well. So very nicely done. Now, how many people receive that newsletter via email?
Margie, do you have those numbers?
I think it's about 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we mail them to our members and donors, physically mail them as well as email. And then we hand them out at the museum as well. They're great pieces of material to hand out to people. And we are, I should mention, we are very sad to have lost Daniel Goodwin in January as well. So he was the one who helped pay for the roof in 2016, if you all recall.
Yeah.
So without him, we wouldn't have a very sturdy and leakless, no leaking roof right now. Leak-free, thank you.
I like that,
So, we'll start a trend.
I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay, we were going around, Terry.
I'm just going to make a few quick comments regarding other staff reports. First off, I want to mention that Parks Plus use since the opening of our renovated spaces in early January, it's continual increase in numbers, well over those of 2023. And I've already mentioned that we're getting closer to the reopening of our locker rooms up there, and I think that's going to even increase our membership even more. I do want to mention the phenomenal Wind Trust annual March Madness event, at Arrowhead back on March 21st. Not only was it well attended, but I want to thank staff and Wind Trust, for once again putting on a phenomenal event. That it was shoulder to shoulder in there, as most of you know that were there. And I see that based on an early golf course opening, since Mother Nature was so kind, we'll have another banner year for golf rounds, considering that, we've already got a significant head start, and our March paid rounds were just under 5,000. That's pretty significant. So, Andy, you're going to miss all this when you go. You know that, right?
I know.
You don't care. Okay.
I do care.
Some of us attended the Superhero Fun Run. It was first time at Sensory Garden back in early April. Very well attended. The kids and parents alike had a great time. Once again, staff did a great job. Thank you.
Bill, anything?
John, occurred to me that I wanted to make a comment about this. A lot of us about 2 weeks ago happened to go to Forest Park to attend the wake of Dave Novak, who was the executive director of the Forest Park Park District for many years, and the father of two of our best employees, Dan and Nick Novak, and he died suddenly on vacation. And if you've never been in a funeral home full of park people, it's a different kind of experience. This is people who are full of life, and of course they're there to commemorate the end of a life. A sad occasion, but also a happy occasion to see all those people there. I was struck by one of the flower arrangements that was up there that had a ribbon on it that said, "Make time to play." And I thought that was a pretty good motto for all of us to keep that in mind. And whenever I see a bunch of park people together, it always makes me very proud to be part of this organization. So my condolences to both Dan and Nick, and to your mother, Dan, as well. I never met your dad. I am absolutely positive, because I know you and Nick, that he was an absolutely terrific guy, and may he rest in peace. Thanks.
I have met Dave, and Dan is a clone. If there was ever a clone, there's a clone. But the family did a great job too, Dan. But I've never been to a wake that was more well attended. Oh my gosh, from start to finish. So the family managed well. Thank you.
Okay. Nobody has anything else? Mike,
Yeah, but if I could just make
Oh,
a comment.
yeah.
I know a couple of you have mentioned it. Today is Andy Bendy's last park board meeting, not only at the Wheaton Park District, but of his entire Park District career. And I wanted to just take a quick moment to acknowledge his outstanding contributions to this agency over nearly 17 years as Director of Special Facilities. Under his leadership, our special facilities have thrived. Our ability to put money back into our special facilities through the resources generated through his excellent stewardship of those operations has been nothing short of remarkable in that time. Andy and I have known each other for over 3 decades, and we've worked together for over 2 decades, and there's nobody better at what they do than Andy Bendy. And I want to acknowledge you today, my friend, and your time here with us, and you will be greatly missed. And I know occasionally you may miss it, occasionally. But on behalf of this entire community and this park board and all the staff here with you today, we will miss you, and job well done.
Thank you.
Andy, you're not going to unretire tomorrow now, are you?
No.
Big retirement party on May 2nd, right?
May 2nd.
Arrowhead? Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Andy,
Yes.
I need to know who you're anointing to be your double Dutch replacement.
Mike, if I could say real quick, thanks to you and obviously the board support for those 17 years. It's been a great ride, and as you both said, Wheaton Park District is an awesome park district for the residents, but also for staff. And we appreciate your support all these years, so thank you. Thank you very much.
Right on, buddy.
Okay, so now we need a motion to go into closed session for item B only.
I'd move to adjourn our regular meeting and move into closed session for the selection of a person to fill a vacancy in public office under 5 ILCS 120/2C3.
Second.
So we have a motion by me, second by Pacharich. Mike, take the roll, please. Oh, and we will not be coming back out and taking any action tonight, so.
Commissioner Byers? Yes. Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Meade?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes.